As a health and social care professional, continuing professional development, or CPD, is the best way to both maintain and improve your knowledge, skills, and performance. You're probably aware that your own Code of Professional Conduct and Ethics requires that you must complete ongoing CPD throughout your working life, so it is a good idea to keep your standards high, current, and relevant. Keep in mind that your registration board may audit your CPD record. This is just to confirm you have a system and process in place that will help you maintain your knowledge, skills, and performance as best you can. And if you are selected for a CPD audit, you will need to complete CORU CPD record templates from your own CPD records. It's important to note that the CORU CPD record template is the only template that you can use for audit purposes. Before you begin, keep in mind 3 main points. 1. Read the audit guidelines document before completing your record and submitting. 2. Remember, you should never provide any information that would enable anyone to identify a third party or service user. 3. Remove any supporting documentation with your submission, as there must be no documents attached. Begin by entering your name and CORU registration number before defining the audit period. You should know that some registration boards will audit a 12-month period and others a 24-month period. Overall, you'll need to show 30 CPD credits in each 12-month period. In fact, you might well have gained more credits than required, and it's up to you to choose which credits you want to include on the record. Don't forget that the CPD record is simply registering the fact that you have completed your CPD. It is not a qualitative look at the activities. When you reach the Implement section, the first thing you should do is enter the date and amount of time spent on a given activity. As you would expect, there is a direct relationship between time spent and credits assigned. Generally speaking, the more CPD credits assigned to an activity, the more content there would be, which would in turn demonstrate the volume of learning achieved. Let's say you complete an activity that lasted 4 hours and gave yourself 3 CPD credits. It would then be expected that the amount of learning outcome and impact on practice should be roughly equal to 3 hours of new or enhanced learning. On the other hand, if you complete an activity that lasted 4 hours and gave yourself 0.5 credits, then it is likely there has not been a whole lot of new or enhanced learning while completing this activity, and the entry should be reflective of this. Overall, this approach allows the person reviewing the record to be quickly able to check time spent against learning credits awarded. For the Type of Learning Activity section, it's always a good idea to break any activity into a number of parts. Take a postgrad qualification or master's degree, for example. You would normally learn particular elements within such a course, and it's best to record these under a number of headings, including communication, teamwork, completing studying journals, research techniques. Don't forget to give yourself credit for the various types of reflective learning after you have implemented it in practice. Sometimes it can be hard to identify learning outcomes if all learning types are grouped together. In fact, just one activity could lead to several new learning opportunities. These might include the training itself, the impact the training has had in practice. You may take a moment to think about how you will complete the task in practice when the opportunity arises. Or you might reflect about how you have managed before and how you might improve the next time. And for the online world, it is best to give examples and references of evidence-based websites or specific journals that were researched. For the Learning Outcome column, it's important to focus on the specific questions being asked on the template and also consider: what was relevant? Why was it difficult? What will you do differently going forward? It's fine to include a brief description, but try and make sure the majority of text focuses on your personal learning. Use terms like "I learned," "I thought," "I noted," "it highlighted for me," "I felt," where you can, as it helps to keep focus on your own learning rather than drifting into a description of the event. For the Impact on Practice section, keep in mind that reflecting on how you have integrated this new learning into your practice is an important part of CPD. And for any example you do use, try and be as clear as possible by including the name of the source, be it journal, podcast, or other. There is no specified word count in this section. Bear in mind that you are required under your Code of Professional Conduct and Ethics to keep all your CPD records in order for as long as you're on the register. Where you can, you should try and outline how the learning is relevant to your code. Once you get to the review stage, take a moment to reflect on what you would like to learn in the next 12 months, now that your CPD record has been completed. If you have identified a number of activities that you'd like to follow up on in your CPD record, how do you plan on going about this? In this section, please also include why the learning need was identified initially and how you think it will relate to your practice. The plan. Like many other types of plan like this one, it's a good idea to use the SMART goals approach. Try and make the goals relevant to your practice where you can. When including learning activities for this last section, try and make the connection with something you have already identified in your CPD record. Consider your achievements to date and what you will need to do to continue on as required. Why do I need this learning activity? What will my next steps be? It's important here to consider your Code of Professional Conduct and Ethics in relation to areas in which you need to increase your learning. Link your examples to your Code of Professional Conduct wherever possible. Keep in mind that these documents are reviewed and then destroyed. And if you're unlucky enough to be chosen for audit 2 cycles in a row, don't worry, as we will not be comparing your plan to what you actually did. Think of your record as a way of encouraging forward thinking. And you're done. Don't forget to include your digital signature, your CORU registration number, and the total number of pages that should be included with the record. If you need any help or assistance with completing this template, simply email cpdaudit@coru.ie. Thanks for your attention.